Good evening to the weight loss community on YouTube. How are you all? Finally, my first post-op video to share with you today. I've had to make notes. Things have been quite chaotic around here, and I've had a bit of a sort of energy spurt the last couple of weeks, so I've been rushing around doing things that before surgery I wasn't able to do, so NSV. So I'll get to the numbers, as everyone does, appreciatively. I'll just remind everybody I'm 155 centimetres tall, which is 5 foot 1 inch for our American confreres. My starting pre-op diet was a 2-week pre-op diet which commenced on the 12th of May 2014, and my starting weight for that, and I've even done the conversions, I'm impressed, was 123 kilograms or 270.6 pounds. My day of surgery I was 116.4 kilograms or 256 pounds, and that's a 13.4 pound loss, which is probably a 6 kilo loss. 6 kilos, that's good. 1 week post-op, which was Monday of last week, I weighed 112.7 kilos or 247.94, very important, for a loss of -8 pounds or under 3 point something, 3.7 kilos, I think. Yeah, 3.7 kilos. My 2-week post-op, which was actually yesterday, I was 110.4 or 242.88 pounds for a loss of 5 pounds, which is about 2.2 kilos. 2.3 actually, 2.3 kilos. So my total loss from my pre-op diet till yesterday, which is a total of 4 weeks, is 12.6 kilos or 27.72 pounds. Hooray! Who would have thought? The operation and the hospital stay, I thought I'd talk briefly about that. I was actually in the hospital for 3 nights, and just a reminder that I'm a revision VSG from lap band to vertical sleeve. The lap band removal was 3 months early on the 24th of February. And then I came into hospital on the 26th of May for the surgery. I had to spend 3 nights because I have severe sleep apnea, and I was in intensive care for a day and a half. Don't really know why, I was pretty okay. Didn't enjoy the hospital stay, I must say. I was a bit kind of just wanted to get home, and I didn't want to see or do anything, and I was pretty drugged up, so I just sort of lay there for most of it and got up and had my walks and lay back again and couldn't really talk on the phone. Certainly would never have been able to make a video. I'm very impressed for those who can in that state, but it was fairly crowded and fairly the hospital was very busy, even though it's a private hospital. It's very busy. It wasn't actually till I got home on the Thursday morning that I began to feel great. I think I was pretty drugged up before that, and you know, you're tied up with cannulas and such like. And but I just, when I got picked up and came home, I felt really good. A couple of things that sort of surprised me a little was that I could drink quite easily. Like, I knew to sip, but sipping kind of was like a normal drinking for me. It wasn't goggle, goggle, goggle. It was just down it went. It didn't seem to be a problem. So it was a lot easier than I expected. And I was on liquids for the first 2 weeks of that. And what did I have? I had probably Optifast shakes, the Up and Go Energize, 2 times protein. They were all the recommended ones. I drank soup and I drank drinking yogurt, and if I didn't have drinking yogurt, I watered down the normal yogurt, which was part of our program to do. So that wasn't too bad. At the 10-day mark is when I actually went back to the surgeon's office and I saw both the dietitian and the bariatric physician, not the surgeon themselves. And to my surprise, they said I've already lost 19% of my excess body weight. Hooray! Who would have believed it? So that was an encouraging sign, because you think, oh, it's working, and no, it's not working. But 19%, that's nearly 1/5 of my excess body weight. Only 4 5s to go. That's pretty good. Their goal weight for me, and I think that's just based on what they regard as weight loss surgery success, is 81 kilos. Now, bear in mind that I am only 5'1", and 81 is still pretty big. But I haven't seen 81 for ages, and I would take that. She did ask me, the physician, whether I had a goal, and I said like 75 or 72, and she seemed to think that probably wasn't enough, so they shouldn't have told me 81. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Metabolically, they realistically think it's going to be around 80, but I've seen so many success stories and people just going way beyond the expectations the doctors have had for them, so that's really great. They're right about the hunger, it's not there. However, I do get a rumble in the tummy, which makes me think like I should be eating. So it's not in my head, it's definitely in my tummy, but it isn't that acidic, gnawing, eating sort of feeling that goes on in your tummy. And it's certainly allowed me to keep my calories to really the bare minimum and try and get in the protein that I need to get. So when I then went to see the dietitian afterwards, she approved me to move on to the puree stage on the weekend. I probably tried that the day before, I was a bit bored. No calorie counting. She just laughed. She said, you won't be able to get it in, so don't worry about it. The important thing they wanted was to have 50 to 60 grams of protein a day. And I've been doing that okay, but I need the help of shakes and things to do that. And shakes are fine at this point in time, but I did try some scrambled eggs. She suggested I try that on Saturday morning, and I did get half of it, but anyway. But I also made a beef casserole and I blended that, and that was fine. That goes down well. One of the things that she did mention to me was that, and we're not due to go back till the 3rd month, so after 3 months of surgery, so it seems like a long gap between visits, but that's okay. So I'll see the dietitian and the bariatric physician on the 4th of September. Well, yeah, sometime the 4th of September, yeah. She did say that after 2 months to try not to get my calories from liquid protein. And the reason being is you'll end up having more calories than you need, because there's quite a few calories in a liquid protein drink compared to trying to eat just a piece of protein, which is so true. So she said you'd be more successful if you reduce the liquid proteins. So that's interesting. I had stocked up on a lot, so I've got a lot, and I've given some away actually, so I've got a lot there to share. I will tell you about an episode I had. Was it the day before yesterday? I had I had a drinking yogurt, like a child's drinking yogurt thing, and I was actually in the car having it because I was driving and we sort of missed lunch by a couple of hours, and I thought I'd sipped it. I probably did or didn't, I don't know. But like half an hour later I had this gurgly going, I'm going to throw up something. It was just water. Just water, it just looked like water, nothing clear liquid. I just had to throw up, and I'm thinking I must have had that yogurt far too fast, but it wasn't the yogurt that I was bringing up. So just extra fluid that just came. I hadn't had any water at that point, so I didn't know what that was about. I don't know if anybody else has experienced that. Let me know. But that's all really. Otherwise I've done quite well. That's all my notes. So I'm feeling good. There's a couple of things. I am having trouble staying asleep, so I get up about 2 in the morning. I get tired very early in the evening, obviously, because I've probably got up too early. But I have trouble staying asleep. I have trouble now with my CPAP machine because I think the pressure is slightly too high. I've been measuring my neck. I have done my measurements, but I'll bring them to another video. And that's reduced quite a lot, and I think that's affecting the setting on my CPAP machine, which is not automated, so I have to go back for a review. But I find I'm actually sleeping better without it, so I'm sure they won't let me go off it just yet, but I probably do have to reduce the pressure somewhat. But I am waking up and I'm feeling quite energised, and I'm sort of ready to sort of jump out of bed, which was always my modus operandi years ago. Like, I was an early morning riser and I'd get out of bed and I'd go for a morning walk just before the light of day. It's probably my favourite time of the day. And now we're in winter over here in Sydney, so it's not quite as enticing to want to go out for a walk, but it's really great. So I did take the dog out for a walk one early morning, but he didn't appreciate it either. He thought it was a bit too early for him, so I end up trying to go back to sleep, and I do, but I do get up earlier, and I have a ton of energy to do some spring cleaning in winter that was quite neglected in spring because I just didn't have any energy. And my arthritis, I have arthritis from my head to my toes, so even that's all eased up, and especially my knees, so I can walk for longer periods of time before my knees decide to give out, saying you've probably overdone it because you're too much weight bearing on those knees. So that's been really good. So I think that's kind of an NSV really. I can just do, I'm doing a big clean up of the wardrobe with all my clothes, and I've found all these clothes with, I think I've got a 5 size difference packed away, and so I'm unpacking them and putting into sizes. A lot of them are for summer, unfortunately, but and some of them are hopefully, sadly, but hopefully they might be actually a little bit too big in summer. Let's see. I'm doing well, really. I do look at other people. We've had lots of little temptations around, but I've been good so far, so let's hope we can continue that. We as in the plural, not as in the royal, to avoid those things. And little shout out to Dee Dee, had her surgery this morning, so I hope that all went well. She was originally going to have the surgery on the same day as me, but had to delay it for a couple of weeks, so I think she was quite excited. And just a shout out to, I have to say, to everyone for watching the video, for commenting, for being supportive, and for all those older ones out there. One of my big fears was, and even the doctor said, one of the reasons they're looking at 81 is because of my age, as part of the whole thing, and it will be slower, so I've got that in mind. But I can concur with everyone that's mentioned it and suggested it to me. Take your measurements, because they are kind of, wow, quite impressive, really. I do have an awful long way to go, but I'm quite happy, and my mood's lifted, and I wake up feeling just energised and ready for the next day, and I hope that's the way other people feel as well. So I think, nearly 14 minutes. I don't know what I've said in all that time, but thanks everyone for watching. Oh, the other thing, the surgeon did give me a photo of my removed part of my stomach and what was left inside, and I was going to put them on here to show you, so you'd be able to turn off if you didn't want to watch, but I've left them downstairs and I'm not going downstairs now to get it, so let me know if you definitely don't want to see it, and I'll put it on the next video if I recall. Okay, and thanks again for watching. Take care all. Bye.